William, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, so I have something to say. All right?
Yeah.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Oh, okay.
I'm being serious right now, okay?
Mhm.
So you know how we usually start with a shit post and a joke or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is something that's been on my chest, and I want to say now. This is probably my most controversial statement I have ever made on this channel, okay? All right, it's that big, right? If cancel culture was a real thing, this would invent cancer culture to get me cancel culture, okay?
Okay.
That's how big
sure.
this is, all right? All right,
Uh-huh.
I have no regrets saying this. I want to say this. I want to get this off my chest. Hey, fuck the coronavirus. We gotta. I don't get the hype behind it. It was fun for the first 3 months, but now it's really been going on for a while now, and it's kind of playing itself out,
No,
right?
no,
Like, at
wait.
first, I was with it. I was like, oh boy, coronavirus. It's just like Burning Man. It'll be fun. But after 7 months of this now, it's kind of run its course. Okay, we gotta move on. We need something new now. All right.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Look, here's what I'll tell you. Okay.
All right.
Get canceled.
We need coronavirus 2 already.
No.
All right. All right. The original was cool. I think it's time for us to have a sequel of it, right?
No.
Because you know how we had X-Men and then we had X2, right? It needs to be like that.
This is
Right, we need an X2 now. Is what we need.
Stop. So what are you gonna call the next one? C2? Is this what you're gonna call it?
Oh, C2. That sounds really good. Hey, let's write that. Let's send that to Sony.
To Sony of all people? What?
Hey, I don't know why, but I think at some point we clearly established Sony as a villain on this channel for some reason.
Oh my god.
We gather our super disinterest in Sony.
Oh god. I mean, that's fair. Have you seen the movies they make, man? Okay, let's stop before we get canceled by Sony.
Look, I'm pretty sure Sony is too self-conscious that all they do all day is YouTube, is Google what people are saying about Sony, all right? Hey, yo, Sony, where's my PS5? Let me order the fucking PS5 already. God damn it.
So bad.
I want my PS5 pre-order.
Bad. How did they
give me my Hey, Sony, if you're listening to this right now, I will unsay everything I just said about you if you give me a PS5 pre-order, all right? I'll stop saying you're the Hitler of America and you hate children.
What?
And you created a coronavirus, right? And you give me the PS5.
Oh,
that's my statement. That is my official statement to Sony right now.
No, stop. What you're trying to do is character assassinate Sony, and that's not going to work out for you. Okay? They have an
look, but it can't be character assassination if it's true.
They're gonna get their look. They're gonna pay their lawyers, a whole army of lawyers with PS5s to cancel culture you, okay? They're gonna cancel the shit out of you.
Wait, hold on. Are you just saying they're just giving their lawyers PS5s?
Yes!
That's it?
They
don't even pay them real money. They're like, hey, yo, here's the PS5 and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now go sue everyone.
They just slide it, like, give them the PS5 over the desk, and they slide the copy of the game under the desk.
It's like it's like that scene in American Psycho when they're all doing business cards, right? Somebody just slides the PS5 and a copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales to them. Right? And the lawyer's just there staring at it, just feeling the box, like, oh my god, the texture. This is eggshell white, eggshell ribbon. I don't remember the fold.
No, when you see Sony's business rival Microsoft will bring out the Xbox Series X and then shows that off instead, and then Sony just gets all jealous at fucking Microsoft. And then they axe Microsoft later on. But if we go by the movie.
But when does PC show up with the RTX 39 or whatever the fuck?
Oh my god, dude, that 39.
Hey, how'd that worked out for you?
Look,
how'd that worked out?
That's never gonna be a thing. I'm never gonna get that. Oh my god,
dude. I still believe that you can get it. All right, right?
Sure.
You can only lose to a bot once. Remember, if humanity has taught us anything, we beat the machines. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. That's exactly what happened.
Just because you got bot sniped for that for for the RTX. I'm pretty sure you can beat them this time. All right.
Okay, look, it's fine. I got a 2070 Super. It's fine, and we should just get into the fucking movie. Hello, welcome to the spoiler cast for fucking Halloweentown High, where we wasted 5 minutes with, like, whatever the fuck we were doing.
Yeah. Hey, William. Hey. So real quick before we start it, hey, racism is a big deal in the Halloweentown movie franchise for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, look, for the first...
I did not realize that until we started rewatching this movie series for Spooky-tober. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, welcome to Spooky-tober.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's what we're calling this.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I forgot. Wow.
I forgot about that, too. Hey, welcome to Spooky-tober. Yeah, I didn't realize how big the theme of racism and acceptance was in this film series, right? Like, as a kid, I remember watching these film series, right? I was like, this is just a fun, stupid Halloween movie to watch with the kids, right?
Yeah.
To watch as a kid. But now that you're rewatching, like, wow, this movie was trying to make a statement, right? Like, out of every movie that Disney made, right? Halloweentown, the champions of racial statements, all right? Of acceptance, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really fucking weird.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird turn when you kind of like grow up and then notice this. Is like, what? I never realized this.
Just like how we never noticed how there was a fucking race war in goddamn Halloweentown 1. Oh, by the way, William. By the way, after that recording, I looked up. I went to Google. I Googled Halloweentown race war. Right? Guess how many search results I found for Halloweentown race war?
Okay, I don't know. Fucking 2. All right. How about that?
1. There has been one person that has wrote an article talking about how in Halloweentown 1 the villain was trying to start a race war, okay? There is someone actually went out of their way to write a full published article, be like, hey, this guy was trying to start a race war in Halloweentown 1. You guys ever realize that? That was a thing that happened.
Hold on, Halloweentown race war. Oh, our video pops up. Look at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, really? Are we cool now?
Yes. No, like, a Bulbar Calabar is a Bulbar race war.
Oh, shit, we're in there now. We have made history. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, there's an article from 2014 from Medium by, who's this person that wrote this? By, this person doesn't have a name. It's a name of a podcast. Last Call Critiques. No. Who literally talked about how in Halloweentown there was a fucking race war.
Oh my god, I still can't get over the fact that we're actually part of that search now. Look, Austin, you know how you said there was 1 search? Now there's 2. There are 2 searches now, Austin. Oh wow, I cannot believe that. That's amazing.
I guess, hey, if anyone's ever go back and rewatch Halloweentown and realize that Calabar's trying to start a race war, now you're not alone. You're not alone. Remember, if Halloweentown has taught me anything, you are not alone.
Oh my god. Fucking, okay, yeah, but...
Okay, just like how we are not alone in Halloweentown High.
Okay, there we go. There's a segue. I was waiting for it.
That was the segue. I was trying to figure out how to do it with the coronavirus, but I couldn't figure out how to.
I mean, you could always try to make it so the coronavirus was trying to start a race war. I don't know.
Oh, no. The coronavirus was trying to start a race war. Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Okay, so as usual, I'll start reading from the plot synopsis, yada yada, provided by Wikipedia.
Of the Wikipedia page. Hey, this movie was definitely made after High School Musical was a thing.
Was it?
Because of who was in here, all right?
Oh yeah, he was in that. Yeah, he was.
Oh wait, hold on, no, wait. This came out in 2004. When did High School Musical come out? Was High School Musical 2004?
Hold on, I'm about to look this up.
Holy shit, it's been so long. I don't remember shit about High School Musical. Was High School Musical really that long? No, it's 2000. Oh, this was before he became. Oh, this was before he was in High School Musical.
Oh, so
what the fuck?
Okay, so he appears in Halloweentown first, and then he gets into fucking High School Musical.
So for some reason, I don't know if it's due to Mandela effect. I always assume this movie came out after High School Musical. Right?
Oh, okay. No, I mean, yeah, I get it. But then again, it's just because, you tend to be like, oh, I thought it comes around the same time. You think one comes after the other. It's whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. But, all right. So I'm going to read the synopsis right now. Here we go.
Yeah.
2 years after the previous movie, Marnie Piper prepares to begin.
Oh wait, hold on, real quick before you read this. This plot was really fucking long. Still, whoever's writing these is a big fucking Halloweentown fan, all right?
Yeah.
Big. This person is a. Oh, there's a website you can go to. Oh shit, hold up. There's an official website. Oh, okay, never mind. It's nothing. Oh, I'm disappointed. It's just a goddamn synopsis and telling you to buy the fucking DVD.
Hey,
I don't want to buy the fucking DVD, Disney. Fuck you.
Hey man, at least you know the disappointment of Calabar and this other guy whose name I can't even fucking remember. The
Cal?
council dude.
You mean Cal?
No, not Cal. The council dude who were both trying to start Race Wars.
Yeah.
God. Anyway.
Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. I think we're done. With the jokes.
Okay.
I think.
Not yet. Well, if we finish this, we're gonna get back into him. Obviously. So she asks the Halloweentown Council to work toward openness between Halloweentown and the mortal world. She proposes bringing a group of Halloweentown students to her own high school in the mortal world. The council is initially apprehensive, mostly due to the legend of the Knights of the Iron Dagger, a fanatical order of knights who wanted to destroy all things magical. The Halloweentown High Council, however, agrees to accept the plan after Marnie mistakenly bets all the Cromwell magic that her plan will work. If she does not prove she is right by midnight on Halloween, then her entire family will lose their magical abilities.
Hey, how the fuck does that work? How the fuck do these... So it's clearly established so far within this... as a movie that the Cromwell family, it's a fucking powerful heritage of magical families, right? How the fuck can these people just take away their magic powers, right? Is it like a promise thing, like how North Korea promised not to use their nuclear weapons? We'll give you all our nuclear weapons, America. We're not hiding any other nuclear weapons, right? Is it like that? Well, how can these people literally take away these magical powers? Also, where the fuck were these people when there was a guy trying to start a race war in the first movie?
You know what I don't understand? Right? It's like, why is there a council when there was a mayor of the town, right? I'm like, you don't need a whole fucking council for like a goddamn town. Like, I thought it was just a mayorship or whatever the fuck you call it, right? Where does this council come in?
Halloween, I'm fine with world building. World building is good in any franchise, right? If you do it properly, you learn more, right?
Yeah.
But the first, we just saw that Halloween was literally like a small American town, but apparently it's big enough for there's a fucking council, right?
Yeah.
Is this like an actual country in Halloweentown? The Halloween town is like a small fraction of big Halloweentown.
No, yeah, that's what doesn't make sense.
Every town in Halloweentown just call Halloweentown. Oh boy, hey, where you from? Halloweentown. Which Halloweentown? The one up north. Oh, I'm from East Halloweentown, but we call it Halloweentown, not East Halloweentown, because that would be stupid.
Oh my god, I don't know, man. But that's the thing, because like this is kind of retconning the government system. I guess it's not the biggest offensive thing. I guess, but it's just like then it just brings up questions like, where were you? Why weren't you doing anything?
Yeah.
Like there's this whole
why
issue.
You stopping the guy that was trying to stop a literal fucking race war, right?
Yeah, because you think they would come and like, hey, that's not cool, man. But they don't even bother doing that. Maybe they were the ones behind it. Maybe they were pushing Calabar.
These guys behind the race war.
Yes, they're the reason why Calabar decided. It's like, try to start a race war, and the guys are like, well, we don't like mortals. Like, you know what? You just got me on. You read my mind.
And we're gonna put you as the mayor.
It's like, hell yeah, time to start a race war. What to do? Oh my god. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Okay, so, I'm gonna let's just
Marty.
Okay.
Marty regretting what she.
If she does not prove she is right by midnight on Halloween, Marty regretting what she said to the council wants to cancel the program she has made, but her grandmother Aggie opposes, saying that they have nothing to fear. So.
Yeah, because they're all powerful wizards. Of course not.
Yeah. But oh my god, we have to get when we get there. I'll talk about it. But the Halloweentown students arrive and are magically given human appearances to disguise their true non-human natures. School begins with Marnie acting as a tour guide for the exchange group, claiming they are from Canada. Aggie substitute
fucking good old
teacher,
Canada.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Good old Canada.
Fucking Canada. Aggie substitute teaches so she can be available in case of need. Cody, a new student, shows a romantic interest in Marnie. While Aggie proves unable to teach any subject effectively, the Halloweentown students keep to themselves, hiding in the refuge that Aggie magically creates for them in a remote student locker. Marnie gradually encourages the students to join sports teams, school activities, and to make new friends. Marnie's progress is interrupted by a warning that appears to be from the Knights of the Iron Dagger, then by a magical incident at the mall that results in the Halloweentown students assuming their natural appearances in public. This is followed by a break-in at the secret magical locker and the disappearance of Cassie.
Oh, good thing we clearly established this character in this fucking paragraph.
Yeah.
For us to know about.
God. Meanwhile, Marnie's developing relationship with Cody parallels an unexpected romance beginning between Aggie and the school's principal, Phil Flanagan. Aggie suspects Cody of being the cause of the trouble and tries to convince Marnie to halt the relationship, but Marnie in turn suspects Flanagan. They eventually discover that Flanagan is the knight in question. He was told prior to the students' arrival that he was the last of the order. Edgar Dalloway, head of the Witches' Council and father of one of the students, is the real root of their problems. He wants to keep Halloweentown isolated from the mortal world and used Flanagan to ensure the failure of Marnie's project. This, he hoped, would cause a negative reaction in Halloweentown and keep the portal between Halloweentown and the mortal world closed. The Halloweentown students used the school's Halloweentown Carnival to improve moral attitudes toward magical folk. Their haunted house depicts the ordinary lives of creatures that have typically been seen as monsters in the mortal world, including displays like the Monster Tea Party and ogres picnicking in their natural setting, which winds up boring the carnival goers. Meanwhile, Marnie's mother, Gwen, uses a witch's glass to hunt down Cassie. At the school carnival, Dalloway launches magical attacks against the mortal students by bringing the inanimate monsters in the haunted house to life. The ensuing panic spirals beyond Marnie's and Aggie's ability to contain the monsters. Flanagan incites a mob to corner the Halloweentown students. Cody shames the crowd. The students reveal themselves, and the crowd accepts them for who they are.
Hey, really progressive town, by the way.
Yeah, you know, they weren't that bad after like they were told like, hey man, that's not okay. And you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Flanagan also renounces being a knight and accepts Aggie. Oh my god, that's another issue that I have to talk about. Dalloway claims the Cromwell magic and explains that his son Ethan helped with most of the things that happened, but Gwen was shown the evening's events to. Okay, but Gwen has shown the evening's events to the Halloweentown High Council. They return to Cromwell magic. Gwen returns with the imprisoned student, and the council imprisons Dalloway in another witch's glass, taking his disagreement with them as a form of resignation. The portal between Halloweentown and the mortal world opens inside the haunted house, and crowds of children from Halloweentown cross over to enjoy the carnival together with children of the mortal world. Marnie flies off for a romantic broom ride with Cody. While flying over the carnival, they kiss. And that's the end of the
Really
synopsis.
good description, whoever wrote this. Big fan of the Halloweentown franchise.
I'll be fair with these people, whoever wrote this, but they actually got most of this stuff down. Yeah, so.
Yeah, they really wanted people to know about the deep lore of Halloweentown, right? Right.
Okay.
Hey, William. Hey, where was this fucking supremacist group in all the other movies, right? Right. Like, if this was established at any other point, it would make sense for Calabar wanting to start a race war, all right?
Yeah.
Like in retrospective, this retcons Calabar's fucking race war motives, right?
It really does. It's like.
I'm not saying race war is a good thing, right? It just makes sense. Not that race war makes sense. Don't take that out of context, all right?
Oh my god. But it's like, oh god, I don't know. It's like I feel like Calabar should have been in this movie, but then he's not.
Yeah. Hey, remember at the end of the last movie when they say that Calabar Jr. will return?
Yeah, and then he never returns. Like in either of the sequels, it's just like, what? Why? Where is he?
Right.
He's kind of important.
I feel like out of all movies, for them to be a Calabar 2, this feels like this would be the movie, right?
Yeah, you think they would actually go in and, actually have something happen because it's always been Calabar. And then it's just like, no, we're not doing that. And it's just like, It becomes this weird, like the thing is, at least for me, from what I've been seeing from the Halloweentown movies, from the first two, they were actually rather unique. And and it's just like they actually go about their own thing really well. They actually kind of have like it's kind of a standard good versus evil plotline with like maybe like a subplot about a race war and stuff like that, or racism. we'll talk. I mean, because he keeps saying the fucking word. But it's like you had the subplot about racism and stuff, which is like it's fine, it's whatever. It's not the most not the most harmful thing. Or it's not even really harmful. It's a good lesson that they're teaching anyway. But But then they kind of in both movies, the movie is about Halloweentown, right? I think I think a thing that was lacking in this movie was the fact that like we just kind of we don't really get to see Halloweentown anymore. We don't see I don't think we see Halloweentown.
This just has Halloweentown's name in it.
Yeah, it's
right?
just, yeah. I mean, it's like I understand it's part of the franchise or whatever, but I would have liked to have seen Halloweentown again, you know, and maybe like you could have had it so that maybe it's like instead of a council, maybe
I feel like it should have been. I feel like this movie should have been reversed with humans going into Halloweentown's high school.
Oh yeah, and them learning to acclimate within the culture of Halloweentown themselves. That would have actually been a lot more interesting. I'll be fair. That'll be to be honest with you.
Just so we can keep this all in Halloweentown, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, apparently Halloweentown has a school system at some point.
Oh my god, no, yeah, we'll talk about that later, and that's a whole other issue. Oh no, okay, but
hey, also the best thing I really liked about this whole thing, it does not mention Dylan anywhere in this fucking description.
Yeah, it doesn't. Wow. Oh my god, that was the whole.
This is proven as Dylan is literally the most worthless character throughout. Boy, does he get worse by the fourth movie.
I know. I saw the movie. It gets so bad.
I told you. I watched all 4 movies in a row. And goddamn, dude, God, does this character is the worst fucking to ever exist.
Okay, but we have to say that for the next one because if we
we'll say that for Halloweentown 4.
The quest for peace. Okay.
The quest for peace.
It really is the quest for peace in that one. You know that, right? You know that, right? Because it's a whole prophecy and everything.
Okay, that's for another day.
That's for another day. Oh my god! Yeah. I think this movie feels like a step down from the other 2 movies. Like
because it doesn't do anything with Halloweentown. It's really annoying.
And it's just like we kind of stay in the school. I mean, it's an interesting plot in and of itself. Like I get it. It's like monsters trying to like going amongst humans, learning about human culture and stuff. And it's like that's fun and all because there is some fun stuff. Like you just have like one witch who's just like watching how people eat, which is a little weird because I'm like, you're kind of human yourself. I don't know how it's so different with you.
Witches are just human, except they have magic powers.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, sure, you guys live for an extremely long time, but it's not like you're that different in terms of eating. But
yeah. Well, do you think witches and Halloween just use magic to eat? They don't ever use their hands to pick up a spoon, or is that the reason why? Do you think witches and Halloween has never heard the concept of a spoon or a fork before? Like, what the fuck what is this? My mind is being blown. You can put stuff into this thing, and then you put it in your mouth, right? Is that what they're thinking? Like, what is this wondrous thing you call a spoon? Wait, hold on, no! Witches use spoons! They use spoons! They use spoons to make their stupid potion, bro! How the fuck did they not comprehend this? It's like you have a small spoon? In Halloween, we have big spoons. How is this possible?
I would have found it amusing though if they had a throwaway line if they thought a fork was a mini pitchfork and like why are humans so terrible? They're using pitchforks and everything. Is it ingrained in their culture or whatever? I don't know. I would have appreciated something like that. But like it's like I think a lot of it is just like there's a lot of these new characters who don't get enough screen time enough as it is either because
don't really bother with them.
Oh, you don't really bother with them either, yeah, because Marnie has this show around a whole bunch of Halloweentown students, right? You get like a fairy, a troll, or like a werewolf.
There was a werewolf, I think.
Yeah, and it's like they're fun characters, but they don't have any screen time at all.
Dylan just wants to bang, apparently.
Yeah, he wants to bang the pink troll. God, that was a terrible subplot on its own. It was not the worst ending to the subplot, but still.
I like how they just fucking left him on the fucking ceiling that one time, and it didn't fucking bother. Yeah. Like the characters acknowledged that they just fucking left him, right? Like the mother and the grandmother were in the same room when all this happened. They just didn't fucking bother to bring him down that night. That's pretty fucking funny.
They all knew he was useless, so they put his uselessness where it belonged, on the ceiling, okay? In the corner where it could bother no one. Where it could bother no one, yes. I mean, the thing is, it's like, it's fun. It's kind of like, out for as a positive, it is fun seeing like magic in a real world setting. Like the magic locker thing is a fun idea too. You get like you get more of an idea of the home life of the Cromwells. Like you have like Marnie I think. Yeah, she was like sipping at some hot chocolate, and you see this fun little spider marshmallows just kind of crawl and just commit suicide into the fucking hot chocolate or whatever. Because that's what it did, Austin. Don't you tell me otherwise, but that's what it did. Okay,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I think it's just like a lot of it's just like you don't spend too much time on that stuff, right? And
this movie feels very small. It doesn't feel like. It feels very small what's going on in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it feels maybe not small. I think it feels more detached from itself because it's like as much as we see all this magic and stuff, it's just like it's kind of separating itself from Halloweentown. You're in a real world setting which we see all the time, and it's just like we've seen them use magic in a real world setting before. Like you had it in Calabar's Revenge. Where basically you have some scenes where they have opened a doorway. Also, don't get me started on that because it's like actually no, do get me started on this. I am starting myself on this. I'm telling myself to get started on this. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, you can get started on this topic.
Here's my thing. Remember how like there was this whole thing where like where when Aggie has like this doorway to her room and she'll do a magic thing, but it was a physical actual opening door, right? And it's just like. In this movie, they kind of just they use so much CGI, like they had the same thing with the door, but then it's just all CGI across from it. It's just like, just where are my physical sets? Where are my practical effects? I missed them. They were too good. Yeah, they were so good. Now you bring them away from me. Why?
Yeah, that's the thing I was saying. Like due to the fact that the influx of cast we don't follow any of that. We don't really follow any of that except for like probably like I guess the troll girl. We follow the troll girl a little bit. We follow Lucas Gabriel character who I think was a wizard or some shit. Probably.
He was like a warlock. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Still pretty fucking stupid to call male witches warlock, by the way. I still think it should be called wizard. I really want to write a letter of complaint to whoever the fuck decided for male witches to be called warlock. All right.
Don't worry about it, man. They're not.
I want to blame this on Sony somehow. If I can trace it all back, I can probably trace this back to Sony. All right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get my conspiracy wall out. Start throwing some lines. Right? I feel like this is all Sony's fault.
Okay, but sure, it could be Sony's fault. We'll just say for now that it is. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how, but it is.
Yeah, but we just we didn't follow any. I would have liked that we follow these characters around as they do their stuff.
Yeah, it would have been fun to see what they were doing, but we focused too much on Marnie and this whole Knights of the Iron Dagger.
Yeah, really. I really don't like the villain subplot. This villain line. It's really like it was super forced.
Yeah,
it was really forced. Like you didn't have to have this whole extremist group in, right? This was super on the. I feel like it would have been more if the villains in this movies were high school movie villains, right? Like oh boy, we got that super fucking jock. Oh, and it's those damn popular girls that make fun of you. Ooh boy, right? There's that nerd group for some reason that is bullying, right? It makes sense for in a movie say like this for high school characters, right?
It could have been the whole thing about like you get the Halloweentown characters having to overcome the attitudes of like mortals, like in a regular setting, like basically the jocks and the cliques and stuff. That would have been great.
Yeah.
And then it's like something like they can't rely on magic for that. It's like it would be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, like I really don't understand why he decided to introduce like this super supremacist group, right? It's really like even in so I'm quickly scrolling through the movie right now, right? Yeah. There's even a scene where a group of jocks bully Lucas Gabriel's character, like why did we just have this setting in the school? This would have made more sense, right? And we just like don't use your magic powers and everything, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just really weird, like. I don't know why they decided to not have that in this movie and then they decided to put it into the next one, but that's a whole nother issue. Again, a whole nother issue to deal with. But, like, what we got is basically this whole subplot with the Knights of the Iron Dagger, and it's just really weird.
I think that existed. I think that existed. It's been here this entire time, right?
Yeah, I mean...
And they existed this entire time.
Yeah, that's kind of how they treat it, and I would have accepted like the fact like, oh, we can't have the portal open because this is an actual real threat. You have never experienced it because you were mainly human. Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing that I would have loved, okay? Because the thing is, like, there's a supremacist group called the Knights of the Iron Dagger who hunted magical beings, right? And then you could like, you remember that whole thing where the mother is like, we have to remain human. We cannot use magic because we live in the human world. And then it's like, and then if it would have been such a mind blowing thing. Is like, the reason I told you not to use magic was because I loved your father, but I wanted to stay with him in his world. But in that world, in the mortal world, there is a supremacist group called the Knights of the Iron Dagger. And so if I ever used magic in any way, shape, or form, it's like they would have found us, and then bad things would have happened. I would have been like,
oh,
that would have been
I thought you were working out. I thought your monologue was gonna work out as a they were the one that killed your dad.
You know, that would have been great too. You know, that would have been amazing. You know, that's the thing.
Because we find out because with the mother character, we still don't know the maybe like she doesn't like using magic. Fact that she wants to remain like that would have been a compelling argument to build up her character, right?
Yeah, because in the first two movies, she's like, don't use magic, right? And then she's like, and in the first movie, she's like, okay, fine, magic, but then in the second movie, it's like, don't use magic too much, right? And in the third movie, she's like, okay, now it's time for you to learn the truth because you're old enough for this now, right?
Yeah.
And you're learning enough magic that maybe it's possible, I don't know, you could defend yourself or whatever, but you deserve to know the truth about your father or whatever. And it would have been amazing to have learned this, you know, in this way.
This builds up good character. We learn a lot of stuff that I would have been good information to have.
And it would have added so much to the first two movies. But they don't do that with this movie.
Yeah. It's like, they just randomly decide to add a fucking hate group out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you could add the hate group, fine. But the thing is, this hate group doesn't do anything. They don't really feel like a threat in any way, shape, or form. Like, the thing is, all they do is just subtle harassment.
The worst part is when I'm going through, they do like those stereotypical fucking Scooby-Doo villains.
that's my thing! Because you remember how the knight is the principal? Is the principal just standing, like, remember when they first like, hint at the villain, and he's wearing, like, armor, and he has a sword falling down on the yard? Why is he just standing there? Why is he just wearing armor in the middle of their backyard? Just standing there wearing a suit of armor. And then there's a scene where it's like they're in the mall, and then it shows that like the knight's there. He has a gloved arm, right, with the ring of the iron dagger, and he's just drumming his fingers along the rail. I'm like, why are you in armor in the mall? Somebody would have said, why is that guy wearing armor in the mall?
The worst part, someone would have to see them do all. The worst part, we see the principal earlier in the mall hanging around, right?
Yeah.
And then at some point during his date with Aggie, right? He was like, "Oh hey, excuse me, I'll be right back. Gotta go to the bathroom to put on my fucking knight armor I have." Where did he have the knight armor to begin? Where did he keep it? Was he at the mall earlier and he hid it in the bathroom or some shit? My God. And then he took a break because it clearly established that throughout this movie he's with the grandmother, and at any point we see him and all that shit, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I gotta go put on my knight armor." All of a sudden, right?
God, it's so dumb. I'm like, what is this? What is any of this with this guy? What is he doing? And it's just like, there's also this thing, like, because of the Knights of the Iron Dagger, he's only a knight because he's told this by the true villain, the fucking council member, Dalloway. And Dalloway's like, "Oh, I told you about the knights because I don't want the portal open." But then I'm like, because here's the thing, I'm like, you were never part of the supremacist group. And so a guy who uses magical powers comes over and tells you were part of the supremacist group who hates magical beings and doesn't want anything to do with them. And then it's just
do we even establish the reason why he wants to be part of the hate group, by the way?
No, because he's like, "Oh, I was part of this lineage."
Was he just treated as a weekend thing? I have nothing to do with the weekend.
No, because he was legit like, "Oh, I have such a rich history behind my family. I shall be a knight of this order." And that's it. That's the weakest excuse I've ever heard for a villain.
Wait, do we even clear what type of history? Like, did he just say history? Like,
No. He
was
knows the
Did he have an
history.
ancestor? Did he have an ancestor that was slain by a fucking magical creature, and that's why he
No,
wants to do it?
because the thing is, because the way they were saying it is basically, oh, this order died out a long time ago, but now that I learned that I was once part of this order, I'm gonna revive it and continue their hateful ways. I'm like, it does. I don't know if I want to mention it. I really don't know if I want to mention it, because you know what I'm hinting at, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
God.
do I want to mention? Okay, because this I don't want to bring this up. I think it might have just been they might have been blind to this, and the thing is, the actor's black, and so it's like
Yeah.
You're making him part of this supremacist group who hates magical beings, right? And this is this whole racism thing. And I guess it's fine or whatever. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I'm like,
remember, this is a kids movie, all right?
I mean,
remember,
yeah,
it's
I
a
guess
kids movie.
for a kids movie,
remember,
sure, it's fine.
It's just like me when I watch those X-Men TV series, all right?
Yeah,
it was
sure.
really fucking confusing when I was watching Legion. No, was it Legion? Fuck, I forget. There was two X-Men series. There was one called The Gifted, and there was one called Legion. I forgot which one. I think it was Legion, where there was a supremacist group, but it was a multicultural supremacist group that just hated mutants, right?
Yeah,
so
I mean,
maybe as far as we're concerned in this universe, racism was never a thing, all right, William? Did you ever consider that?
Okay,
racism does not exist.
Okay, here's the thing. At least in the X-Men series, that's kind of worked out well because that's more that they're joined together more by a matter of faith rather than race, right? Or racism in that sense. And so
Yeah.
that's like it also works in a way that hate can form in multiple people, no matter their skin color or whatever,
Yeah.
right? That was fine. And the thing is, that would have been fine here too, but it feels the whole Knights of the Iron Dagger thing, isn't worked in so well, and it's not like this guy had a recent history with magical beings. He just decided one day to be a racist or a supremacist. Sure, I know. That's gonna be a thing. That's gonna be a line in this thing that I just said. But that's the thing, because he just decided.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I really don't understand. These characters have really bad motivations. That's it.
And it's just like. Dalloway is like, he's supposed to be the twist villain, and I was like, oh, I support you in this, but he's like, but I'm gonna secretly sabotage this, right? And then there's this whole thing. It's just like Dalloway just decides to launch a magical attack on mortal students, and it's just like on the mortal students and stuff. And then I don't know if maybe it's like he never thought of the idea of like maybe the students would just go back to Halloweentown and say, yeah, he attacked all of us. He's the reason why the Cromwell magic's been stolen in the first place, right? And I know why and it's like, I'm like, this guy didn't think his plan through, right? Like, I like
look, but not a lot of people thought their plan through in this movie. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, and so it's
right?
like, at least in Calabar and stuff, like, the thing is, as much as he's never really felt as a threatening villain, right? Because it's a kids movie, he feels, he is smart in the way how he did things, right? It's just that Marnie having to find a way around these things, and that was the growth of her character in Calabar's Revenge, and it's just like, like the Calabar, he's like, oh, I knew you were gonna do this, I knew you were gonna do this, I knew you were gonna do this, and so I'm like, so I screwed you over at every turn. He only didn't know about the one thing, and it's just like, that was great, that was fine, right? But none of these villains feel smart in any of what they're doing, and so it's like, it's just like
I say, one of my biggest problems with this movie is explain how are they gonna take away the Cromwell.
The Cromwell family magic, the Cromwell.
Yeah,
Cromwell.
how do they exactly do that? That's like that's why I said at the beginning. We clearly talked about that the Cromwell is probably one of the most ancient, which we will learn later.
Yeah.
It's the most ancient magic to exist in this universe. How do you just take away fucking God's power, right? As far as I'm concerned, if we take away the Cromwell's family magic in this universe, this entire universe just dies. Everyone just dies, right?
Yeah.
The Cromwell family magic, as far as I'm concerned, from what we clearly can see, it's what keeps this fucking universe alive, right?
Yeah, because it's like they're the reason why Halloweentown is a thing. So I'm assuming with their magic, they made the alternate dimension in the first place. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing that has to do more with 4, but that's still relevant in this one anyway. But like, it's just like, you don't just like Marnie is like. First of all, taking someone's magic should have been treated as a very serious thing. At least I feel, right?
Yeah,
and should have been.
Yeah, she doesn't treat that thing as serious. Like, yeah, fuck it, I'll bet my magic.
And it's a verbal agreement. There's like nothing written in stone or anything at all.
Yeah. Literal stone. They can even get literal stone. Like, what? You guys can even get literal stones to write this in?
God, it's like, you know what I would have accepted if they did something similar to Harry Potter. Right, because in Harry Potter they had this whole thing.
Bring up Harry Potter again.
No, like, I know it's kind of necessary. No, but the thing is, in Harry Potter does kind of the similar thing, but much better, right? Because I remember, like, if you remember in the Half-Blood Prince, right? In the beginning of the movie, you have the scene between Snape and I believe it was Narcissa, where Narcissa extracts a promise from Snape, where it's saying, protect my son at all costs. Make sure he lives through this ordeal. Promise me this. And then Snape promises that, but then Bellatrix is all like, no, just saying it's not enough. I want an unbreakable vow, right? And so basically, it's an unbreakable vow for anybody who's never seen Harry Potter or read the books. It's basically.
Hey, go watch the Harry Potter movies.
Yes, I would say definitely watch them if you haven't at this point. Oh my
we're
God.
so glad we're promoting the Harry Potter movies in the year 2020 for the audience.
Look, man.
Hey, just watch the Harry Potter. Don't read anything J.K. Rowling has said post Harry Potter. All right. Post pre Harry Potter J.K. Cool. Post Harry Potter fame. No, don't do that, alright?
Oh my God.
Hey, I really want to talk about the fucking goddamn Fantastic Beasts series at some point. Just to express how much I hate that shit.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was fine. The second one was god-awful.
Second one was really fucking god-awful.
I don't understand what happened at all.
I really want to talk about that second one at some point.
You know, I don't understand what happened, because it's just like, they have a good story in there, but the editing and everything was just so off. I'm like, what is going on?
I like how we're turning to the Fantastic Beasts spoilercast.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry. I forgot about that for a second. Look, man, I could talk about Fantastic Beasts all day, but back onto the Unbreakable Vow. Basically, it's a promise between magical persons, right? Basically, it's like, on my magic, I will keep this vow, or I will lose all my magic, basically, right? Basically, it's equivalent of, like, you know, you losing your life, you know, doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it's like, it could have been something like you could have had it so maybe Marnie is like, the High Council is just strictly on a no, like, they're just no at every turn. They're just rejecting all at every turn. Until maybe you could have it so Marnie is desperate to, like, and she's really confident that she can make this work, but then she's desperate. It's just like, and says, okay, and then it's like, what can I do, right? Maybe she doesn't know, or maybe she does. And then maybe they say, well, if you're that serious, we do have one method, but it is a very serious thing, and then we're not, and even for you, like, for your family, we wouldn't wish this upon you, but only on your say so we'll give it. And then maybe they explain it, like, oh yeah, we have this thing where, like, you have to prove you can do this by this day on this exact time, or you lose your magic. And it's like, and then you know, maybe you have it so that Marnie has this internal struggle where she's like, I want there to be a bridge between my two worlds, because they're both important to her. They're her heritage. You know, she lives in one world. One's you know, it's basically her whole family history, and she finds it important. She wants people to be accepting of the world that she's a part of, and it's like, she's seeing no other way. She's like, okay, yes, I will do it. And that would have been the thing, and you know, that would have been fantastic on its own. But they don't do that. That's just like, oh, I just verbally bet. They're like, yeah, you know what? I would bet. Do you think
anyone else in Halloweentown waits for other people to say stuff like that too? Like, oh boy, I bet my whole house if I don't skip the rock against the river, and it's like, oh, I got you, motherfucker, you over your motherfucking house, right? You think someone just waits? People take literal fucking out of expression like that. It's like, oh boy, like, Jake, you owe me a soda. Like, fuck, I have to I'm legally obliged to owe this guy a soda, or else he'll sue me or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
It's really weird how people just take serious seriously take verbal agreements like that.
Yeah, it's so
Especially
like,
those that are taken out of statement.
that feels like it'd be a very rampant issue that would be happening all around Halloween.
Is this why we need a council to why? Hey, they should establish a council to differentiate what can and cannot be taken as actual agreements. All right.
Yeah.
We need another council. There needs to be a second council for this. All right?
It's just like the thing is, I think with this movie, it just feels like such a downgrade. Like, and there's such potential with the Knights of the Iron Dagger, but they don't use it at all. Like that could have been a justification for Calabar and all that he was doing. It could have been a justification for Marnie's mother and why she says don't use magic. I never wanted you to use magic because of this. That would have been such great character depth at that point. That would have been fantastic. But they didn't do that.
Also, I want to talk about another scene. There's another scene I forgot I really didn't like in this scene was when during the Halloweentown. Not during the haunted house segment, right?
Yeah.
When the other kids are when all the monster kids are chilling there, and people walk by shit talking their decorations, like and they're like, this is how Halloween like I don't know why these kids are being so offended. Right? Obviously, their culture is not we're spooky monster, right? But they're getting offended during a night that caricatures Halloween, right? It's like if Irish people get mad every single St. Patrick's Day about all the caricatures, right? Like oh damn it, of all the days, fuck. Like, this is the day, right?
Yeah.
It feels really weird why they're getting like it's we established within this universe that Halloween time is it's obviously a big thing of Halloween. It's pretty much how we treat it in real life of being a caricature of spooky, scary stuff, right?
Yeah.
So of course, if people go to a haunted, if you label some shit as fucking haunted house and you show the most passive, like, oh, what the fuck's this shit, right? Like, right, and I really didn't like. I feel like there was probably could have been a better way. Like maybe you have like a school project or some shit, right? Like, this is the real history of trolls, and then we have the punk kids in the school be like, look at these loser trolls or some shit, right? But during a literal night where people caricaturize the concept of Halloween. Right, like, probably right was very bad in my opinion. Right, I feel like they could have done that whole better because clearly the monster guy was like, we want people to learn about our monster heritage, right? But like, probably not the best night you guys want to do this, right? When people don't take things as seriously or take everything as more lighthearted, right?
Yeah.
Right. If I want to learn about Irish holiday, going back to the whole St. Patrick's Day, I probably want to learn it on every other day besides St. Patrick's Day, where nobody takes Irish super serious. You know what I mean? Not trying to hate on Irish heritage.
I get what you're saying. It's just like you could have just like had it like it would have felt better like to have them realize like how to have like they had the interesting scene where they had like they're standing in front of that Halloween store and they're like, did they really see us like this? And then maybe they could have had a segment afterwards where they're doing a history project while Aggie's maybe teaching it, because they did have that where she's substituting for a history class, and you could have had the students in that class basically trying to teach them about the real history of monsters, and then not having them not take seriously. Yeah, it would again, that's another potential thing they could have done where they were trying to overcome the struggle of people, of how people view them. That would have been great too. It would have been a great isolated event, and then you could have maybe had afterwards, like while some people laughed, some people were interested, like, hey, why were you? Is this an actual thing? And then they're like, oh yeah, we can point you to this, this, and this, right? And then it's like shows not everybody's gonna laugh it off. Some people are gonna want to know. Like I feel like that would have been a nice bridge into the haunted house thing, Yeah. Because then you could have had it so that some people again would scoff at it, but some people like having learned from like them what they were telling, they're like, oh
because as people were walking, like nobody knew anything about the real history of trolls, right? Like, this is what real like if I had no context of trolls and only have the public perception of trolls, and I go to like a troll and they're like, oh yeah, trolls. I was like, what the fuck is this? Where them spooky monster eating trolls, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right? And then the problem is like this was an active scene. Like people kept walking. Like you couldn't have people like, it's not like a museum where you could take time. Like if I went to a museum, like, hey, why aren't there those spooky trolls, right? And then there'll be a tour guide like, this is the real history. It's like, then I could take time. But the fact that this was an active Halloween house where people had to keep entering and leaving doesn't give enough time for people to learn about the history of trolls or whatever, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just a lot of lost opportunities with this movie, and it's just really annoying.
Not a big fan of this one. I think I remember watching this one as a kid. I think this is the one I confused as the second Halloweentown movie at some point.
Yeah, but it's like it's a lot of wasted potential here, you know. Like again, the villains don't feel smart. They don't really feel threatening at all. Like I mean, especially with the goofy reveals or the goofy hints of the Knight of the Iron Dagger, right? You know,
Really feel like the whole entire night was extremely unneeded in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, or like if anything, I felt like the justification for the Knights is just very weak. You know, like again, if they used it to kind of expand on the character of the mother, that would have been fantastic. You know, and then you could have worked it in that way, and then as a with a parallel like. As a parallel to the whole them learning to overcome the racial attitudes of like the humans against monsters or something like that, right? And this is like, because then you could have had it so, and I would have liked it more if these knights were actually more of a threat, like the thing is, they mentioned this in the movie, or like they say that when in the secret locker room that they had, they say, oh yeah, there's a spell where no mortals can enter. So I'm like, if you have spells like this, why were the knights such an issue? Right? Why you could have had it so that the knights maybe knew some secret ways to get around magic or to break magic, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe that was why they were such a threat, and why they decided to separate themselves from the mortal world.
Yeah.
And you could have had it so like I mean it's a cliche, but then you could have had it maybe that's why there was these witch trials that were happening everywhere, and then that's maybe another reason why they separated from the magic and mortal worlds apart. And so, that would have been great too. And it's like, the more they talk about it, or the more I'm suggesting here, these guys could have felt like a very big threat, but they could have also felt like a dying order. Because, like, as you know, like, racism tends to die out. You know, it can still be a thing, but like, it will never remain prevalent. And you could have shown that while these old views can stay around, they ultimately won't win. And so that would have been a thing too, where maybe at some point you could have had it so that the Knights of the Iron Dagger do show up, like they show up to maybe crash the festival that they were having, and they would say, then they're like, oh, that we reveal these people to you. They are actual monsters, right? It's like, do you want to live with these people, right? And it's like. Maybe you have some people saying no, but then you could have had it so that some people that they actually did talk to, like before with the Halloween project, like the project and the haunted house, where like say, oh, you know how like again there's some people that scoffed, but those people who were actually interested in actually talking to them, they would be like, no, these people were actually good people, you know, we talked to them, they were actually really nice, and then they start relating their experiences with the characters that they interacted with, like maybe the werewolf and the witch and the fairy and troll, and they're like, they're just people like us. You know, they were nice to us. You know, we had a good talk. We had some fun. You know, that kind of thing. And then other people listen to it. It's like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? You're right. If you had that with, it's like we're hearing you, we're listening to you, and we think we agree with you that these people are just they're nice. They're like us too, right? And that would have been a thing against the knights. And then you could have had this battle between like the witches and like or not a battle, but like with because this could have been the thing where the witches are like, oh, we can't do anything against you guys, but all the other people who then side with the monsters and with Marnie and everything, so then they can essentially overpower they outnumbered the knights, right? And so the knights are forced to withdraw because they maybe they have a code where it's like they don't harm any mortals that like are like them, like basically humans. And so that would have been nice. It's like. And then maybe the knights are like they retreat, but they're like, oh, we'll get back at you one day, right? And maybe you could have had you could have had hinted maybe it was Calabar's son that pushed things this way, and maybe the knights just didn't know.
Apparently they were trying to make Calabar a big villain throughout this entire film franchise.
Yeah, and it could have been shown like maybe Cal is basically becoming a bigger villain in the background. He's just having other people do his work for him now.
He's pulling what we call a Thanos in the industry.
Yeah, it's like that could have been a very big thing. That would have been a fantastic thing, but they don't do that. They kind of do it in the sense that Calloway won. He's going back to Halloweentown, and then people are like, hey, yeah, let's not be racist to them. And then and then there's through the witch's mirror, and it's just like, oh yeah, the council heard everything. Calloway, get the fuck out of here. Your magic's taken now. They get their magic back, and it's just like it's fine, I guess. But I would have liked to reach up to that resolution to be a lot better, like I was saying. You know, I felt like the way I was saying it would have been a lot better, to be honest with you. But we don't really get any of that. It's just like I know. Maybe I'm expecting too much from a Disney TV movie, but I feel like at the very least that would have been a whole lot better, and that would have made the movie work out so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I do like this. I like the stuff this franchise has, but yeah, I really feel like this like in comparison to the two movies, it doesn't hold up. It's not as strong as the other movies.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes it's a hit or miss in these movies. Like again, each movie has its weakness here, but in Halloweentown High, it's just like it's a lot more misses than hits, and that's basically it. Nah, I'm done here.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. I guess that's all we have to say. I guess that's all we have to say about Halloweentown High.
Well, I swear we need to find a better segue into the ending of these things, man.
Yeah, William, at some point, we'll figure it out as we return to Halloweentown.
Oh my god. Okay, there we go. That's the ending.
That's the ending. All right, that's it. All right, coronavirus is still a thing. Wash your hands. Kate, thanks, bye.